Alrighty, guys, we are back with another episode of Monkey Hero Adventures. We're going to pick up right where we left off on our way to Leviathan. Hopefully, by the time we get to Leviathan, my friend old Uncle Rico is going to help us out so we can unsync it and kill it really quick so we can continue on with the story again. We don't really want to wait in queues, so. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'll let him know that we started our recording. Alright, here we go. The sea rises. Plainly, should the worst come to pass, and Leviathan is summoned, our only recourse will be to face him in battle. Given past experiences, you may very well think that eventuality inevitable. Yet so long as there is even a chance that the primal's return might be prevented, we must needs bend all efforts towards achieving the goal. Before we do aught else, let us hasten to Limsa and meet with the Admiral. She will not have been idle in the intervening time, and will doubtless have valuable information to share. Let's go talk to Merylwib. I think Merylwib's everybody's favorite head of state of the 3 city-states. I guess some people might like Nanamo. And that's fair. Nanamo's also pretty cool. I think everybody universally thinks the Connie-san is the... I don't know. She's okay, I guess. It's just kind of plain. You are expected. Pray take the lift to the command room. Yeah. Let's go. I mean, what more could you want from Merylwib? Big row, tall woman, hot, big boobs. Amazing voice actress in the... Yeah, I mean, come on. But you gotta hear me, unfortunately. Welcome, friends. I take it Ishtola has apprised you of the situation. Let us not waste time, then. According to our best intelligence, the Sahagin have not crystals enough to summon their god. Alas, we did not count on the Serpent Reavers venturing as far as Thanlin to supplement their cache. For our short-sightedness, we are faced with the grim prospects of Leviathan's imminent return. Needless to say, I am not inclined to let the fishbacks have their way. Even as we speak, the Maelstrom makes ready to launch a large-scale operation to thwart the summoning, and we would welcome the Scion's support in this endeavor. But if, gods forbid, our efforts should come to naught, I will need be trouble you for more than just mere support, much as I did the last when Titan last walked these lands. Yeah, that's when the hood comes on, baby. Lady Menphilia, I am given to understand that you mean to accompany our soldiers to the front lines. I can only assume that you have sound reasons for doing so. I do, Admiral, but I would rather not be drawn on their nature. I will say only that there is something I would see with my own eyes. Is that so? Well, I am not so stubborn as to deny the wish of those whose aid I require, but precautions must be taken. I shall require that you remain by my side at all times. With that settled, let us speak of the operation. Monkey, Maelstrom scouts are currently reconnoitering Sahagin movements within the Sapsa spawning grounds. Upon completing their mission, they will return to the operations staging point at Camp Skull Valley. I want you to make your way there forthwith, that you might be appraised of the latest intelligence. Commander Falkbreda has been charged with the garrison. Alright, let's go. I've been expecting you, Scion of the Seventh Dawn. On behalf of the men and women here, I thank you for your cooperation. The safety of our citizens is paramount. With your aid, we will prevent Leviathan's return. As you may already know, Maelstrom scouts have been dispatched to reconnoiter the Sap's spawning grounds. Though it pains me to admit it, the Maelstrom has never faced a foe like this of this likes before. We must proceed with all due caution. Among other things, they have orders to determine where Leviathan might emerge, assuming it comes to that. And yet, their return is long overdue. I fear that ill may have befallen them. For better or worse, we must ascertain their fate. If it is not too much to ask, I would have you aid us in the search. 5 scouts ventured into Sapsa, all told. Here, take this flask of restorable aid to tend to them who have been wounded. Though it pains me to even consider the notion, if they have perished, circumstances permitting, I ask that you recover their bodies. By no means venture too deep into enemy territory, however. We can ill afford to lose you at this juncture. Dude, come on. They ain't gonna lose me. Monkey hero. Are you crazy? What, you think a couple fish dudes are gonna hurt me? Have you seen this gear? Look at this, baby. This is called Best in Slot. Let's go. Although I'm getting close to level 55, 56, I might actually be able to upgrade soon. We will see. Let's see here. Use it on the... I don't see him. Where's he at? Hello, Maelstrom guy. Oh, yeah, that's right. He's over here. What's going on, man? You alright? Help! Somebody! Of all the times to forget the restorative. Here you go, man. I didn't forget. Thank you. I owe you my life. We were ambushed by the Serpent Reavers. Lightly armed as we are, we didn't stand a chance. I was able to flee this far, but the others were captured. They were taken to the Serpent's Tongue, I'm certain of it. I can make my own way back to camp, but I fear the worst for my comrades. Save them, I beg you. Oh, I'm gonna go mess some stuff up. Let's go. You mess with my peoples. Serpent Reavers. Chumps. Look at this. I'm gonna go through the window. Oh, I don't need that door. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, there's a fate going on. All kinds of stuff over here. Excuse me. They're dead. Sad. Man, I'll tell you what, flying in Realm Reborn is great. Alright. You've returned, thank the Navigator. When I learned that you went to the Serpent's Tongue by yourself, I feared that you would meet an untimely demise. But tell me, what became of the others? Yeah, Dear gods. These wounds were not intended to kill, but to torture and maim. Does their savagery know no bounds? Enemies or no, they go too far. I dread to think what may have become of the 2 who remain unaccounted for. I pray that they haven't suffered the same evil fate. At the very least, only one of my men came back alive, and for that I owe you my thanks. The price we paid was dear, but we have the intelligence we need. Even as we speak, the Admiral finalizes the details of the operation. The war horns will sound any moment now. Be ready to sally forth when they do. Oh, I'll be ready. Thrice damned fishback bastards. I'll kill them slowly and then chase their rotten souls through all 7 hells. Peace, Commander. We are here for a purpose, and vengeance is not it. I want you to find your mind on the task at hand, savvy? My apologies, Admiral. You may count on me to keep a clear head. Good. According to our sole surviving scout, the Sahagin and their thralls have already begun to amass at the Aetherite in the depths of Sapsa. If we are to act, it must be now. The men are ready. We but await your orders, Admiral. As predicted, the Sahagin have tightened security in and around the spawning grounds. A frontal assault is likely to be met with fierce resistance. Ah, but we are not so artless as that, Commander. We shall divide our forces and strike them as hard and fast at key locations. Remember, our ultimate objective is to take the Sapsa Aetherite and eliminate the Sahagin priests presiding over the summoning. We are not here to kill them all. Well, that's nice of her. The Maelstrom shall engage and distract the Sahagin's legion of drowned pirates on the Serpent's Tongue. Commander, you have charge over this effort. Be mindful that the lay of the land there is devilishly for attacking forces. Let the foreign levy spearhead the assault, and have subsequent units fan out to cover their flanks. At the selfsame moment, a diversionary squadron formed of galleons from the Crimson Fleet shall harry the enemy from offshore. In the likewise, we Scions shall form a smaller unit in hopes of confusing the Sahagin defensive effort. Monkey and Y'shtola, you two are to make your way to the site of the summoning ritual. The Admiral's diversions should serve to thin the enemy's defenses, rendering your path less perilous. A small party, I believe, should be able to win through without drawing unwanted attention. Thancred and Ugiri, your mission is to lure as many Sahagin as possible out of the spawning grounds. Having done so, take to your heels and circle around to join the infiltration unit of Y'shtola and Monkey. When all has been set in motion, I myself shall cut a path to the Aetherite accompanied by Lady Menphilia, as was agreed. Oh, that was a Merwood, sorry. Well, let me keep you, friends. To battle! Let's go. When did we last fight side by side, Monkey? Too long ago, I warrant. But come, let us away. Let's go, Y'shtola. Cat power. See, we just come from up here, they'll never see it. Really? You really mean to come over here and do this? Pray do not concern yourself. 'Twas but a glancing blow. Come, the 8th rite is close at hand. Let us press on.
Damn them. They have made thralls of soldiers and civilians both.
Love this cutscene, by the way. No, sir.
Did I miss much? So that is how you fight in the Far East. Mental note, pick no quarrel with Domans. But seriously, if I am to keep up, I must needs forsake elegance for efficiency.
Don't want to interrupt the cutscene too much. Ooh, Thancred's a badass. But, Ninja didn't exist until this patch, so. This was kind of the introduction to Ninja. Actually, it might not have come till the next patch, now that I think about it. This was the tease for Ninja, sorry.
You'll forgive me my lateness.
I've been something of a liability of late, I know. 'Tis high time I set about making amends.
Long have you shriveled swordwalkers, tormented our kind. But no more! Your time is at an end! You shall perish with salt in your wounds and sea in your lungs. Lord of the world, hearken to our plea. Lord of the world, deliver us from our misery.
Do you feel that?
I know this sensation. It's the echo.
What? Such power! It is transcendent!
Seven hells.
Strike me down if you will. It is futile! I have mastered the gift. I am eternal! O mighty Leviathan, ruler of the seas, born of waters primordial, I offer unto you this frail flesh, that you might grant your faithful servants deliverance. I beseech you, come forth!
Die, damn you!
Foolish shorewalker! You cannot kill that which is eternal!
Heavens forfend.
Damn it all!
My being ebbs away. But it should by right be infinite. Am I not immortal? Curse you, emissary! You promised me everlasting.
Where did he go?
What say you? Nary a single ship? Hells take that sea demon! Gather the survivors and get to shore. Leave the wrecks for the pirates. Leviathan wastes no time. The diversionary squadron is lost. For a mercy, 'twould seem the primal now makes for open sea. But why does he not press his advantage? Unless... God save us. He means to unleash a tidal wave.
Understand, I speak of no normal wall of water. That which Leviathan makes ready to conjure carries more destructive power than naught seen in nature. Enough to raise entire coastal settlements. In his last attempt as a guide, we cannot suffer history to be repeated. Yet, how in the seven hells are we to prevent it? Though our plight cries out for action, we must take thought. So long as Leviathan remains in the open sea, he is effectively beyond our reach. Our fleet is second to none, of that you may be sure. But Limian herself could struggle to best the Lord of the Whorl in his element. In a straight fight, we would make meat and matchwood of us. We need another plan. This much is plain. Let us return to Limsa and see if we cannot think of one. I shall await you in the command room.
There used to be a hamlet beyond South Tidegate in western Lanosha. Hearthstone, it was called. Some years prior to the Maelstrom's founding, Leviathan rose from the briny depths and set about unleashing watery hell upon us. On that occasion, the Company of Heroes put him down before he could do too much damage. But when the bastard came next, this time in the wake of the calamity, we were not so fortunate. Weary of ravaging our shoreline, he summoned a tidal wave which fair leveled Hearthstone and washed the soil away for good measure.
The area was subsequently occupied by the Sahagin.
Aye, the thrice-damned creatures transformed it into a spawning ground for their brood. Given the quantity of crystal stolen to feed him and his legion of thralls, we can be fairly sure that Leviathan is stronger now than in his previous incarnations. If that sea demon is left to wreak havoc, what befell Hearthstone may well befall a larger settlement, even Limsa. That cannot happen. The primal must be stopped.
That was ever our objective, Admiral. But how are we to achieve it? The sea is Leviathan's uncontested domain. The ships of the 3rd Squadron could not close to within 100 yards of the primal, nor could their cannons pierce his defenses.
I have read the reports, Master Thancred. Our warships may as well have been bloody pleasure barges for all the good they did. 7 hells! Is there no way that we might strike back?
The Company of Heroes defeated Leviathan, having first lured him into an inlet, but we must needs contend with him upon the open sea. It will avail us little to consult past experience.
Admiral, if I may.
Speak freely, Marshal.
By all accounts, Leviathan's most formidable weapon is the very sea itself. Waves and whirlpools, tides and currents, all these things are his to command. The key to victory, I believe, lies in disarming our foe. This, in effect, is what the Company of Heroes achieved with their ruse. We cannot lure Leviathan from the sea a second time. But what if we could weaken his hold upon the element of water? I have heard of devices capable of such wonders. They draw upon the power of corrupted crystals, I am told. If mounted upon a ship, such a device might be used to prevent Leviathan from bringing the full force of the sea to bear against us, rendering him no more dangerous than any other sea serpent.
Of course! Sid built a similar device to grant the Enterprise safe passage through Garuda's Tempest, did he not?
Begging your pardon, my lady, but to give credit where it's due, this is something I heard from an old arcanist friend of mine.
It makes little difference who thought of it first, so long as it works. Beg the specifications of this device from your friend, and I shall pass them on to our people at Naldic and Vermelis. But before we proceed any further, I would voice one concern. Piercing Garuda's defenses is one thing. Suppressing Leviathan's attacks, quite another. In matters of science, I am as a babbling babe. But I cannot well imagine that such a feat would be possible without a veritable mountain of corrupted crystals. The question being, do we have a ship big enough to bear such a burden?
Mayhap not, Admiral, but two might. Recall you the tale of Mistbeard's greatest haul? It is said that he lashed two ships together, side by side, the better to bear his plunder. By your leave, we might attempt to repeat the trick. The gods know it would be quicker than building a new vessel.
Mistbeard did this. Truly, Marshal, upon the subject of the Pirate King, you are as a scholar.
Now, from what I have gleaned of these matters, the device will need to be in close and constant proximity to the target. To wit, we must lash our twin vessel to Leviathan. This in itself will be no small feat. Ramming speed will be required, but given the weight of the cargo, that will only be attainable with the aid of a towing vessel. Suffice it to say, the task of piloting said vessel will entail considerable danger, and I would not ask it of another. I volunteer myself.
'Twill be dangerous for all involved, but we have no better recourse. Very well. Commodore, assemble the remnants of the fleet at Morabee Bay. Give priority to our soundest vessels. The repairs can wait. Storm Marshal Slafierson, command of the operation is yours. I want that twin vessel ready to sail post-haste.
At once, Admiral.
And then there is the small matter of slaying the beast. The fate of Limsa Lominsa rests upon your shoulders once again. Go well, warrior of light.
Beings held as gods also exist in what you call the Far East. Legends tell us they walked among in the days of yore, but I confess that I have never truly believed them. That I should live to behold one is humbling and horrifying in equal measure. Now that I have come face to face with the primal, I do begin to understand why the Garleans fear them so. What is it?
A message, Admiral. I judged it best to be delivered at once.
I'm listening.
According to the Yellow Jackets, a man has appeared who claims to have defeated Leviathan.
One of the company of heroes.
The details are yet hazy, Admiral. We have dispatched one of our own to question the individual.
I am disinclined to put any store by this claim, and even should it be true, it is as if Astola said, none save the company of heroes have bested Leviathan, and we know how they went about it. If this man is of their number, what could he tell us that we don't already know? And yet, having wagered limbs of survival on 2 ships, some rope, and a pile of crystals, can we afford to ignore this man? If his testimony could yield us any manner of advantage, should we not hear it? Damn it all. The twin vessels should be ready soon. We have no time to wait for the Maelstrom's report on this supposed primal slayer's claims. Monkey, seek him out and learn what he knows. At the very least, it will spare you the torment of waiting for the reckoning in idleness. The man you're looking for is believed to be a resident of the Grey Fleet in Lower Lenosha. The storm private sent to question him should already be in the vicinity. May your journey prove fruitful. Alright, let's go talk to this guy. Oh, goodness. It's our old friend. Now look here, you. You'll have your bloody story right after you carry those sacks of grain over to the mill. But sir, that's what you said when you had me pick those oranges for you. And before I mucked out the chocobo stables. And before I rolled that millstone over the mill. And also before... Gods, man. I've worked 3 days straight without a wink of sleep. 3 days. And do you hear me complaining? Bah. I suppose some of us just ain't made for the rougher stuff. All right. I'll give you what you want. Never let it be said that old Tractum ain't a generous soul. Now prick your ears, because I won't be repeating myself. Too modest, see? Besides, there's only so much epicness a man can take in one sitting. The tale of Tractum's epic victory over the dread primal Leviathan. Now, Leviathan is huge, make no mistake. To give you an idea how big, each of his scales is about as wide as me member's long, and that's no mean feat, let me tell you. When I fought him, I could barely see for all the brine he was pelting me with. Must have been a lagoon's worth at least. He even knocked me trustworthy axe out of my hand at one stage. Of course, that proved to be a grave mistake. What happened next? Why, I grabbed him by the tail and tied him up in knots. But not wanting to take all the glory for myself, I let my mates in the company of heroes handle the rest. Like I said, I'm modest as well as heroic. Mayhap too modest. Now, there's some who say you can never truly beat Leviathan, that you've got to learn to live with him and make the best of a bad situation. Not the company, though. Oh, it's you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I was just enjoying the attention, is all. I take it back. Everything I said. I was never part of the company of heroes. I'm no marauder. I'm actually a complete coward. I'm nothing. I'm chocobo dung. No, I'm the maggot you find wriggling in chocobo dung. I have to lie to women to tumble them, and that don't happen much. My member's tiny. It's pathetic.
I sure as hell didn't fight Leviathan, but I have seen him with my own eyes. 'Twas a fair few years back, when I was working as a barker's hand. I was shirking my duties one day, loitering about the harbor when I saw it. Great big massive sea serpent, some moms off the coast, with a fleet of galleons making straight for it, cannons firing. I was so bloody scared, I soiled myself right there and then. What? Oh gods, just remembering that day made me soil myself all over again. Hey, wait. If you're asking about Leviathan, it means you're planning to fight him, ain't you? Well, take care. He really is terrible. Dreadful, I tell you. If you're not careful, you'll end up in his gullet, or at the bottom of the sea. Why, you worthless lying whoreson! I can't believe you made me handle chocobo dung. Monkey, this is Minfilia. Were you able to learn aught of use against Leviathan? I beg your pardon. Leviathan? I see. That is unfortunate. At any rate, I have tidings for you. The twin vessel is now complete. We await you at Morby Dry Docks. Pray make your way here as soon as you're able. I'm told your jaunt to the Grey Fleet proved fruitless. My sympathies, lad. I wager it served to take your mind off the events of recent days, though. But enough of that nonsense. The moment of truth is upon us. The twin vessel, the Whorl Eater I call her, is complete, and she surpasses all my expectations. In addition to her prodigious tonnage, she has been fitted with a platform. Now you and yours might maneuver freely in battle. I would mention also that she is nigh unsinkable, but I'm not one to tempt fate. The Whorl Eater and her crew stand ready. My friend, just give the word and we shall bear you to Leviathan. I know that look. You are ready. Having been constructed in some haste, the Whorl Eater may not be pretty, but I assure you she's capable. She's been fitted with what your friends at Naldeek and Vaomils are calling an elemental converter. Assuming the thing works, it will use the power of the corrupted crystals on board to rob Leviathan of his hold over water. Depending on how the battle unfolds, you may well need to activate the device manually. Keep that in mind. It is expected that the Sahagin and their thralls will attempt to come to Leviathan's defense. Accordingly, the Maelstrom will once again employ diversions. Thancred and Y'shtola, I would have you assist in this effort. If it is to fulfill its purpose, your diversionary face may not want by numbers. By your leave, I would too volunteer my blade. We would welcome it. Having seen you fight in Saps, I dare say the fishbacks would find your presence highly diverting. Thancred and Y'shtola, if you would join the Third Levy, and Lady Ugiri the Fifth. But the words I for the man who has made a sport of slaying gods. Only these. Go warily, for the sea is an unforgiving place to wage war. May the navigator guide you through the storm, warrior of light. I would echo the Admiral's sentiments, and add a few words of my own. Know that we have the utmost faith in you, Monkey. May the crystal bless you and keep you. Here we go. Let's see if our boy Uncle Rico is ready to roll. He is ready to go. All right. Again, remember, he is level 90, so this guy is going to die really quickly. The hard mode is pretty easy anyway. There's no real way to die unless you just screw something up completely. I may die with no healer just from ambient damage, but the extreme version, the railings come off, so you could actually fall off when he knocks the thing around. But yeah. So he goes under, and then on the other one you want to be on the other side, so when he knocks you don't fall off the edge. Again, you can't fall off the edge here, so it doesn't matter. And you gotta kill these things. And the ads, of course. I did that too early, so I'm probably gonna die. And he'll have to finish it. The one thing when you're doing these, sometimes you do so much damage that phase transitions at a weird time. So, that's okay. Okay, go back to Limsa and talk to Merowib. Knowing the urgency of your business, I thought it would be best to refrain from making conversation during your past few visits.
but today I will permit myself a few words. I feel truly privileged to have had the honor of admitting a hero such as you. You are an inspiration to us all, sir. And on that note, the Admiral awaits you in the command room. Wink.
We Lominsons are sworn to strive, till sea swallows all. And swallow all it would have, had Leviathan prevailed. That we still strive now, we owe in no small part to you. Not for the first time, you have delivered Limsa Lominsa from the wrath of a primal. Never has our nation known a stouter ally. On behalf of my people, I give you my humblest thanks.
I forgot to take my hood off. Oh well.
'Tis meet that I give thanks to old Mistbeard, too, for his fine solution. Whatever else he may have been, 'tis clear he was a resourceful soul. Would that I had a man like him in my service.
Mm-hmm.
Before I set foot in these lands, I had no inkling that the people of Eorzea contended with such mighty foes. Suffice it to say, their existence came as something of a shock, as did the idea that they could be defeated. This experience has served to remind me of the vastness of the world, and the boundless potential of man. Though I am but a refugee in this realm, I would fain be of use to you in your fight. Know that I am tutored in one of the foremost combat arts of the Far East. It may seem outlandish to the Eorzean eye, but should any of your people care to learn, I would be pleased to initiate them.
And I will see to it that they are grateful. I have no doubt that your knowledge and skills will serve us well. Besides, your art is not so outlandish as you think. Would you not agree, Master Thancred?
Naught escapes your searching eye, Admiral. Few are privy to this information, but Limsa Lominsa is home to a certain secret fraternity. Its members are trained in a form of combat not unlike your own. By my judgment, it should not be beyond such individuals to adapt to the techniques I witnessed you employing with such admirable deftness.
I am heartened to hear this. I too noted a kinship between your style and mine own, though it seemed to me that you fought differently in the beginning.
I suppose I did. What can I say? I'm a man of many talents.
Though you may labor to believe it, Thancred was once something of a scoundrel who fraternized with the criminal class in these parts.
Yestola! You jest, of course.
But for a chance encounter with Alphino's grandsire, he might never have left Limsa Lominsa, or received an education in Sharlayan, or taken up his post in Uldar, which is where he trained in the blade, lest you wonder.
Minfilia, please!
It would seem there is more to you than meets the eye, Master Thancred.
Lady Yugiri, I am told that you and yours came to Eorzea seeking permanent resettlement, and that many domins have since been engaged as frontier hands at Revenant's Toll. Moderna is many things, but a place of refuge it is not. Know that I would like nothing better than to furnish your people with a new home here on Lominsan soil. Alas, racked by instability as we are, our nation is in no fit state to take you in. Yet I'll not have it said that we turned a blind eye to your suffering, until such time as we can do more. I pledge to send provisions.
We are in your debt, Admiral. I realize that it scarce qualifies as repayment. But if it please you, I shall set about sharing my martial knowledge with your people at once.
You wished a word in private.
The better not to spoil the festive mood. History repeats itself, Admiral. As the kobolds did before them, the Sahagin resorted to summoning their god over a territorial feud. They acted in self-preservation. It may be that the Sahagin initiated this particular clash, but how it begins does not interest me so much as how it ends.
I have not forgotten our conversation, Y'shtola. I am aware that man bears part of the blame for the primal's existence. Nor am I ignorant of the Sahagin's reason for acting. They sought to secure a place to breed and multiply that their kind might survive. Self-preservation, as you say. But we have as much right to live and thrive as they. If our own survival is threatened, are we to lay down our arms and welcome oblivion? Nay.
And so you kill, that you might live. Yet if living is a right, then that right belongs to all peoples, be they men or beastmen.
I'll not deny your reasoning, but when a storm gathers, it falls to me to see my people safely through it. That is my duty, and I shall do it.
As must we all, Admiral. Stay the course then, but know that it will lead to no good end.
Man has ever put himself first and foremost. To justify his actions, he clads himself in the armor of righteousness, though it be a fancy of his own making. In this, mayhap the Garleans and we Domans are not so different.
Eorzea has become as a raging sea. If we are to keep our heads above the waves, we cannot scruple to drown the man next to us. When hopes of coexistence founder, strength must determine who has the greater right to live.
Heavy stuff.
The Admiral has informed me of the arrangement. I have in my keeping a letter of introduction for Lady Aguirre. To the south stands a gate leading to a pier for small fishing vessels. Look for an unscrupulous Hyrian man there, and present this letter to him. He serves as a gatekeeper of sorts. Now, before you go, I am obliged to remind you that the members of the fraternity to which you will be introduced abide in the shadows of Women's Society. They value their independence more highly than pirates, and are united by a bond stronger than mithril. To wit, they are invariably wary of new faces. Though it be penned by the Admiral herself, mere words on parchment will get you only so far in their confidence. You must work for every ounce of trust they place in you. But here is the letter. Go to the aforementioned place and show it to the aforementioned man. Oh, and good luck. think we'll just run. Eager Leminson. Oh, it's the dancer quest. And this is the sage quest. Got business with me, venturer. So you're the man the Admiral sent word of. I was hoping I might catch a glimpse of Thancred too, but been a while since I saw his shit-eating grin. But with all the doe-eyed wenches about, I expect he's got his hands full. Ah, you must be the Far Easterner and what Merowib said wants to train with us. Welcome to Limsa, milady. I am Yugiri of Doma. 'Tis an honor to make your acquaintance. I must confess, when I first learned of your organization, I had certain preconceptions of the nature of your membership. It would seem I was mistaken. You're not the first person to say that, lass. Lemons is a city of pirates, to be sure, and pirates don't give two farts about keeping a spotless reputation. They hardly need a secret society to do their dirty work. Might be as my people and I keep the shadows, but we've got nothing to be ashamed of. It's simply better for business that we remain unseen. And so you have developed fighting techniques suited for this purpose, I see. I know that the practitioners of my art, too, are denizens of the shadow. 'Tis in stealth that our strength lies. There is much we might learn from one another, I think. Then, what in the seven hells are we waiting for? If you'd come with us, Yugiri, or of Do What's It, we can get acquainted in more private surrounds. Ha, that didn't come out right, did it? Master Monkey, I shall remain with these people for a time, that I might study their ways. Though I am loath to be separated from my countrymen, I take solace in the knowledge that they are the best of hands. You have been a true friend to us Domans. No words will suffice to express my gratitude. Ere long, I hope to begin imparting my martial knowledge to the people of Eorzea. When the time comes, it would be my honor to welcome you as a student. Well, it's funny, because you're joining the Rogues Guild, and I've already completed all that, and you're a ninja, but so am I. Just saying. It's kind of weird. Much and more has occurred since first I beheld Eorzea from the galleon's deck. Suffice it to say, I did not envision being invited to play a part in your noble struggle. But forgive me, I have kept you over long. Doubtless you have pressing business of your own. Rest assured that I no longer require an escort in this land. When you next meet Lady Minfilia, pray relay to her my humblest thanks. Would that I could go do so in person, but I must needs fulfill my promise to the Admiral. Till we meet again, Warrior of Light.
I have been reflecting upon the events which took place during our visit to Vilbrand. If you have a moment, I would share my conclusions with you. Please, bear with me. When the Sahagin Elder summoned Leviathan, he employed the power we have come to know as the Echo. Though I cannot well explain the how of it, It would seem he became immortal in so doing. When the Admiral subsequently slew him, his spirit emerged from his lifeless flesh, a consciousness shorn of physical form. Thus transfigured, he took up residence in the body of his minion with the ease of a man donning a favorite glove. Long have I known that the echo allows one to pass through the walls of a man's soul. But never did I imagine that it could free us from our own flesh, nor less that our souls could then occupy the next corporeal vessel to take our fancy. It was of this that Elidibus spoke, an existence which knows neither cessation nor oblivion. And yet, though the Sahagin had mastered his gift and thereby become immortal, he was by no means invulnerable. As we both bore witness, he was ultimately absorbed into Leviathan. And the import of this observation? If the Ascians' mode of existence is indeed the same, it can be inferred that they too are not invulnerable, that they can be destroyed. There exists a legend which tells of souls who are reborn upon the cusp of each umbral calamity, that they might stay the encroaching darkness. To most, it is but a fairy tale, yet recent events have given me cause to wonder. Could the legend in fact refer to the echo? Much and more yet remains unknown, but I am confident that all will become clear in time. For the present, however, what matters is that the key to defeating the Ascians may at last be within sight. With Urianger's aid, it is my hope that I shall fathom this matter ere long. Oh, I was just about to send for you, my friend. Is aught amiss?
Grave tidings from the Sharlayan motherland, my lady. It doth concern our distant allies, the students of Baldessian.
What of them?
My lady, the Isle of Val, which for many years hath been the Order's home, is no more.
No more? Whatever do you mean?
I relate only that which hath been conveyed unto me by our agents. An etheric wave of the highest magnitude was recorded in the region. Soon thereafter, 'twas observed that the isle had ceased to be. 'Tis postulated that a magic was evoked, like in power to Ultima.
12 preserve.
If there are no other matters, I move that today's meeting be adjourned.
It is done, my lord. Forgive my impertinence, my lord, but these orders, I am uncertain as to what end they serve.
Revolution.
Alright, revolution, he says. Let's go into 5. Let's go ahead and end this one here, and then we'll start right away with 5.3 in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to start recording it right now.